Sarah's hands would not stop shaking. It was 5 minutes until she had to walk down the aisle. She stood in the bridal suite, her beautiful white dress feeling suddenly too tight, too hot. She heard the murmur of 200 guests outside. Her stomach was a ball of electric knots. "I can't do this," she whispered, her voice thin. "Yes, you can," said Chloe, her maid of honor and best friend since 5th grade. Chloe was always ready with a solution. She was into yoga, meditation, and especially herbal teas. She believed a blend for every problem existed. "It's just nerves, classic pre-wedding jitters. I have just the thing." Chloe rummaged through her giant bag. She pulled out a thermos. "I made this for you, my special calm heart blend, all natural. Chamomile, lemon balm, a little something something. It will settle you right down. You'll feel peaceful in 2 sips." Sarah looked at the thermos like it was a lifeline. That was Chloe, always prepared, always trying to help. "You're the best," Sarah said, her voice grateful. "Drink it all," Chloe urged, pouring the steaming liquid into a cup for maximum effect. Sarah drank it. It tasted earthly and a little bitter. She finished the whole cup, hoping for the calm to wash over her. For about 60 seconds, she felt nothing. Then it started. It was not calm, it was the opposite of calm. A sudden sharp buzz started in her fingertips and shot up her arms. Her heart, which had been fluttering, now began to pound against her ribs like it wanted out. The mild anxiety she felt transformed. It wasn't a ball of knots anymore. It was a live wire, sparking through her whole body. Her senses dialed up to a level she didn't know was possible. "Chloe," Sarah said, her voice sounding too loud in her own ears, "I feel really weird." "That's just it working," Chloe said brightly, adjusting Sarah's veil. "The nerves are leaving your body. It's a cleansing feeling. You're fine. It's time. They're playing the intro music." Sarah tried to say no, but Chloe was already herding her to the door. The hallway seemed to stretch for a mile. The soft violin music from the garden was not soft at all. It was a sharp, screeching sound that drilled into her skull. The wedding planner, a smelling woman, gave her a thumbs up. Sarah saw every pore on the woman's face. She could smell her perfume, a cloying, sweet scent that made her head swim. She could hear the individual conversations from the seated guests outside. Someone coughing, a chair scraping, a whisper about the weather. Her dad appeared, offering his arm. His smile was kind. "Ready, sweetheart?" he asked. Sarah's mouth was dry. Her mind was screaming. She nodded, a stiff little movement. She took his arm. The touch of his suit jacket felt like sandpaper. The doors opened. 200 faces turned towards her. It was a wall of eyes. She saw every single one. An uncle's crooked smile, a college friend snapping a picture, the phone click sounding like a gunshot, a toddler staring, a drop of snot glistening on its upper lip. The sun filtering through the oak trees wasn't warm light. It was a series of blinding strobe-like flashes. Her walk down the aisle was the longest journey of her life. Each step was slow, heavy, as if she were wading through glue. The music swelled, each note vibrating in her teeth. She could feel the individual threads of the lace on her dress scratching against her skin. She could hear her own blood rushing in her ears, a roaring river. And then she saw Mark. He stood at the end of the aisle, looking so handsome in his grey suit. He was smiling, but as she got closer, she saw the smile change. It faltered. His eyes, which were supposed to be full of love, were filled with confusion and concern. He could see something was very wrong. "He knows," she thought, her heart hammering. "He knows I'm a fraud. He knows I'm about to run." Somehow, her legs carried her to him. Her dad kissed her cheek, a sensation so intense it felt like a burn, and placed her hand in Mark's. Mark's hand was warm. He leaned in. "You okay?" he whispered. His whisper was like a shout. She tried to nod, but her head just twitched. Her eyes were wide, scanning the crowd, the officiant, the sky. Everything was too bright, too loud, too much. The officiant, a friendly-faced woman, began to speak. "Dearly beloved," her voice was a droning buzz like a faraway radio station. She caught words, love, journey, promise. They were just sounds. Her mind was a frantic hamster on a wheel spinning too fast to catch. She felt a trickle of sweat run down her back. She was aware of every bit of it. She heard a waiter in the very back, near the house, quietly setting down a tray. The clink of glass was like a crystal bell. Max squeezed her hand. She squeezed back, probably too hard. The officiant was looking at her. So was everyone else. A silence had fallen. It was her turn. The woman smiled. Sarah, she said gently, do you take Mark to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live? The question hung in the air. It was a simple question, the easiest yes of her life, but her brain was empty. The words I do were gone. All she felt was the electric buzz, the pounding heart, the terrifying urge to turn and sprint back up the aisle, through the house and into the woods. The silence stretched. It became a thick, heavy thing. She saw Mark's face fall. Hurt clouded his eyes. A soft, worried murmur started in the crowd. Someone shifted in their seats. The sound was like thunder. She was going to ruin everything. She was going to pass out or vomit or scream. Then from the front row, a figure stood up. It was Aunt Linda, Sarah's no-nonsense gardening recipe collecting auntie. She didn't look dramatic or angry. She looked concerned and practical. She walked the few steps to the altar, ignoring the shocked looks. She didn't go to Mark or the officiant. She went straight to Sarah. She took Sarah's free hand in both of hers. Her hands were cool and dry from soil and hard work. She leaned close. She didn't whisper sweet nothings. She asked in a voice only Sarah could hear, a completely ridiculous question. Sarah, honey, what color are your new kitchen towels? The ones you got for your registry? Sarah blinked. The world, which had been a roaring hurricane of sensation, focused on this one absurd point. Kitchen towels. Her brain, scrambling for purchase, latched onto it. They're blue, Sarah stammered, her voice cracking from disuse. The ones with the little flowers? Aunt Linda pressed, her eyes steady on Sarah's eyes. Yes, Sarah said more firmly. A single clear image formed in her mind. The towels folded on her kitchen counter next to the new coffee maker. A real, normal, quiet thing. The buzzing in her body receded, just a little. The roaring in her ears quieted to a hum. She could see Aunt Linda's kind, worried face clearly. She could see Mark watching this strange scene, baffled. And Linda gave her hands one more squeeze, a small, real smile on her face. Good, she said simply. Then she turned, walked back to her seat, and sat down as if this happened at every wedding. A nervous laugh rippled through the crowd, then faded. The officiant, recovering her composure, gently asked again, Sarah, do you take Mark? Sarah turned to Mark. She saw him again. Not a blow of panic, but her Mark. He looked scared and hopeful. She took a deep, shuddering breath. It was the first full breath she had taken since drinking the tea. I do, she said. Her voice was clear and strong. It echoed in the quiet garden. Mark's shoulders slumped with relief. A huge, genuine smile broke across his face. He said his I do with so much feeling that people chuckled. The rest of the ceremony was a blur, but a normal blur. Sarah felt present, if exhausted. She laughed when she almost dropped the ring. She cried a little during the vows. She kissed Mark when told to, and it felt sweet and right, not overwhelming. The reception was in full swing. The band was playing, people were dancing, and the cake was cut. Sarah finally had a moment to breathe, tucked in a corner with Mark. Chloe approached them. Her face was pale, her eyes red from crying. She had been avoiding Sarah all night. I need to talk to you, Chloe said, her voice thick. Alone, please. Sarah followed her to a quiet hallway near the bathrooms. The noise of the party faded. I ruined your wedding, Chloe blurted, tears streaming down her face. Oh my God, Sarah, I am so sorry. What are you talking about? Sarah asked, though a dark suspicion was forming. The tea, Chloe wailed, keeping her voice low. I messed up. I was in a rush this morning grabbing my herbs. I have 2 identical tins. One was the calming blend, chamomile, lemon balm, a little something something. It will settle you right down. You'll feel peaceful in 2 sips. Sarah looked at the thermos like it was a lifeline. That was Chloe, always prepared, always trying to help. You're the best, Sarah said, her voice grateful. You gave me an energy drink, Sarah said flatly. Before I walked down the aisle? I thought it was the calming one. I swear, I wanted to help. I just wanted you to feel peaceful. Chloe was now sobbing, genuine guilt racking her. I saw you freeze up there. I thought it was my fault. And it was. I almost made you run away from your own wedding. Sarah felt a hot flash of anger. Her perfect walk, her moment at the altar, all shattered because of a stupid mix-up. She opened her mouth to yell, but she looked at Chloe. This was her best friend, who had organized her bridal shower, who had spent hours helping her address envelopes, who had held her hair back after too many drinks in college. Chloe's mistake wasn't malicious. It was the exact opposite. It was a mistake born of desperately wanting to fix things, to help.
The anger fizzled, replaced by a deep, weary understanding. The day had been saved anyway, by a ridiculous question about kitchen towels. Chloe, I sighed, you're an idiot. I know, Chloe sniffed. A huge, head-mixing idiot. I know. I pulled her into a hug. You didn't ruin it. You just made it a hell of a story. Next time, maybe just give me a hug and tell me to breathe, okay? No more secret potions. Chloe hugged her back fiercely. Never again, I swear. I'm throwing all my things away. Back at the party, Mark raised an eyebrow. Everything okay? Sarah took his hand. She looked out on the dance floor at her family and friends laughing. She saw Aunt Linda showing someone a picture on her phone, probably of her prized tomatoes. Yeah, Sarah said, leaning into him. It is now. Moral lesson. The most powerful calm doesn't come from a bottle or a brew. It comes from the hand of someone who loves you, asking a simple question that brings you back to yourself. Sometimes the best help is just being there, not fixing things, and you can get through almost anything if